Hello guys, welcome to an additional tutorial. You may have seen my wheat farm that I had on this tutorial before, the 208 wheat farm. I have then edited that and I've done a tutorial on, well, a brief tutorial on building a 1040 version of this, stacked 5 high, and then on top of this stack I've done sugarcane stacks. And did a query about how I wired it up, and I realised I haven't really shown this in much detail, so I thought I'd show it again from scratch. So first of all, we are 16 long already, because this is mirrored onto these ones. For a normal wheat sugarcane farm you might not make it like this, but this is how I wanted it for this. So here's the guide for any sugar farm, although it's a pretty efficient design and it does work well. So it's 8 along, up 1, 8 more. Same for sand. So we put one bit of water here, this goes to there, you then have to put a second bit of water there, and if you don't do anything here, it flows through. Now on my design I had it flowing through, and you can have glass cages to funnel it into the middle and do whatever else you want, or you can put a sign there to stop it coming through so that all the sugarcane gets pushed through, and it still means that you can have sugarcane all the way to the ends, like so. So it's just personal preference how you want to do it. If you want to make this design just on its own, then you can just leave it to funnel down, I guess, or you can leave it like that and having streams bring it into the middle. Whatever your personal preference is. If you're going to build it in the same system as I had it, I did the funnel on each side, so I did like this. So it still moved in, it didn't interfere with the water coming down from the wheat farm, and it kept everything working fine. In the middle, I have one coming up like this. It should be there. Yep. Nope, it was here. Yes, it was this one here. Yeah, so you can make it work exactly the same way. Now, whatever's personal preference. So, I'm going to show you how to do the wiring. And I did this wiring on the live stream, so not everyone sort of saw this. And this is a side setup, and this wiring here is an example of how you can invert your signal. The only important thing you need to really think of is this torch here. That torch there, the signal on that is basically the switch to turn on or off. So at the moment when this is on, they're all off, and as you can see they've just moved to the sugarcane on that side anyway has been pushed down, so they come through here and down there. So this is to show you one side, and so here I've done some vertical wiring, so you can just invert the signal and then invert it at the bottom. And see, this is around the same switch, so that's activated. And what I did on my one, I linked this up to the timing switch on the whole wheat farm part of it as well, but you don't have to do that. You might not want to go at the same time. So that does that. So this way here, this goes here, inverts signal from off to on, and goes upwards, so therefore this one's off. When that one's off, it powers these blocks here, and which acts as an inverter. So if you have a, I'll show you here, you have the redstone torch there, you then have the power going to the bottom. If I grab a switch, then if I turn the switch on, that turns off because the signal's been inverted. So that's basically all this is doing here. So this is powering the block. Same idea as the redstone wire going across here, but this is a repeater. So this for it powers the block and turns this one, right, inverts it. So this is off in there, turns this one on, and therefore powers these blocks above and beside it, which then power the pistons. So that's how it works there. And as I've made it so I want to go everything to one side, I've raised all this up one, and the whole design here is moved up one as well. Be careful how you do wiring here. You don't want to put one there because you have odd pistons. That's just something to be aware of. So these ones, all they do is signal comes in, signal gets passed to the repeater, passes to the block, which powers then the next repeater, and so on. So there's a slight delay on the pistons, but it just means that we're very space efficient, because then if we get some blocks here, so if we just build it up on the side here, this one needs one more, because you don't want to be putting pistons on the bottom one, because you'll lose your seed, well, your seed sugarcane. So we just cover this up. So this is basically all you see, and then you put pistons along the same side, and this design is nice that it's very space efficient. You don't need to have repeaters and things going to each one. So on here you're using 3 blocks where you may be using 5 or 6 depending on how you do it. So for this design it's very space efficient. You can adapt this so you can have 8 ones, you have it flat, and you just have the water going, you could have one water going to the middle and another one on the other side going to the middle, and then water streams going up and down, so you could have like a whole sea of them basically. So it's not important how you place them, it's just if you want to place them the same way as I did in the tutorial, this is the setup I used. So go here, as you can see they will get powered. If you have any problems then just check your wiring here and you should be able to find out pretty easily. So in here, this one just inverts it up here. This is a linear inverter, whereas this one is a horizontal or vertical inverter basically. And I will be starting a new series actually on Redstone for beginners. So a basic Redstone tutorial on how to use the general parts of Redstone, and then we will progress to more advanced stuff, and I'll be starting it in the next few days basically. And if you have any suggestions of what you want to be taught in it, or certain mechanisms of Redstone that you want covered, or things like butt switches and inverters and switches and rail. Now rail is quite complicated if you go through it a lot, then I'd love to hear it so I can help you with that. And it will be suggestions after the first couple of them. So here I'd just build it from scratch if you want to see this bit. So the only important thing here is the torch. Here I'd split space for inverters, so you can invert them that way, you can make it go round, it doesn't really matter. On my one I had it so that I had a little tiny station coming along here, so this one would come here, and then from this bit I had these like this, and as you can put redstone on top of half slabs now, I just wired it along, so this is then an inverter. So when I put a signal onto this, it then changed the signal overall. As you can see, changes. And all I had there was wired up to the middle and then wired up to the back. Same for this side. So this is why it's a little bit more complicated on this sort of version, because they're different heights as well. So you have to invert it slightly differently. And the only annoying thing here was this sort of wiring here. Could interfere, but my design was quite nice, it was quite simple, and it looked quite nice as well. And the world that has that change on it is up on download on the new server map, on the new server tour. So we'll just show you this quickly. As you can see, it starts off with 8 flat, 1 extra in the middle, and then another 8 flat, so there's 9 across and then 7 across. And all you do is place one repeater here, so this one's powering that one when it's on, and grab some blocks, and then that's powering the powering the block, goes to the next one, and so on. So you just do that. You don't need to go any further than that. I don't think I've done any further than that on the other one. No. Actually I have done that, haven't I? No. Yep. So, there we are. And then all you do is do a cross-hatching of this. It's a very common thing for a lot of redstone circuits these days to use cross-hatching and repeaters, because it's a lot more efficient now. A lot of people want to do space saving rather than actual efficiency, I guess. So let's see, well, actual simpleness. So you put these here, and then all you do is put a bit of redstone each here, and then you're fine to put pistons on. So if you just put them here, 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 and you can apply this to any other design you want. This is just a lattice for turning pistons on, basically. So that's how you do that, and you can do it the other side as well. It's completely up to you how you tidy it up, how you put things on top of it or around it to make it look pretty or not. On my one, I had to cover the top bit, so I don't want the redstone exposed. It doesn't really matter, but that's what I did. And then I put some lanterns on top for light. But this one, you could make it a bit more compact, but for what I wanted, this is what worked out for me fine. And on my one, I will continue to build it upwards when I have some time. And hope this has answered any questions anyone may have about the design. And thank you very much for watching. I've been King Happy, and I'll see you next time.